Good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream once again. As always, thank you guys for being here. We are getting right back into Red Dead Redemption, as always. We're probably gonna, once we beat this game, I'm gonna find something else to play. Not sure what we're gonna play, but we'll play something. Is my live stream actually playing? That's the question. Kind of seems like it's... Oh, no, it's gone. Cool. Sweet. All right, so let me get my son's sleep started so I don't forget about that because I've been forgetting. There we go. We should be good to go. Should be rocking and rolling. All right, so we are currently in the swamp. I was doing a little bit of fishing earlier. We're back at camp now. So let's go ahead. We could go wrangling with Uncle, although I don't remember what we do, but let's see what that's about. I always forget what that is.
Arthur, get over here. What do you want?
Do some rustling.
Don't be like that. This is a good one. Yeah, it always is with you. Until we start getting shot at. Well, have you ever been shot at by a cow? Whose cows? It's a drunken rancher up at Hill Haven Ranch.
Whose
He's
cows?
such a flop that we could take a whole marching band up there and steal, and he still wouldn't wake up. And he's a son of a bitch. He said unkind things about me.
It ain't all bad then.
I owe you after last time. This could be my make good.
I don't know.
I need you. You know those two bastards that buy stolen livestock.
Sure, I know them. I don't like them.
I'll give you 60% of the take.
How many cows?
I don't know, small herd, I guess. 20 maybe?
20, huh? Come on.
Okay, let's go steal some moo cows, dude. Let's go get them. Is he gonna show me where to go? I would assume he's going to. I'm assuming he's leading the way here.
Just past the road's turnoff.
So I messed with some graphic settings earlier. Not sure why, but I cranked up TAA sharpening, which I'm not even using TAA, which is temporal anti-aliasing. I'm not even using that, and it cleaned up the image a lot. And then I also cranked up general sharpening, and that seemed to help a lot too. I was messing with DLSS on this game. I don't know if I need a mod or something, but DLSS genuinely... So, like, I don't like DLSS personally. I get that it gives you better graphics, but I think most games, there's a few exceptions, but most games... I think DLSS really does come at the cost of visual fidelity. A lot of people I don't think necessarily notice, but like for me in most games, the second I turn on DLSS, the game just looks muddy. In this game, it adds a ton of ghosting. Like in a weird way, like somebody's head will have like ghost trails behind it. I don't like that. So I tend to not use DLSS. I'm hoping that over the next couple of years they can improve DLSS. I kind of think it's a little bit too one-size-fits-all right now, and I think that's why it has such a weird issue with muddying graphics. But I know they've been working a lot more with getting AI to clean up images and stuff, and I'm hoping that what they're able to do is maybe work it out where AI ends up taking over some of the processing power. And at least like every other frame maybe is AI generated. Then you end up with like some there was a video about something similar to that, and it really caused some funky visual graphics to come out, but visual graphics, it caused some funky visuals, so we'll see if that becomes a thing, but that'd be down the road. Alright, anyway, let's go steal some horses. Isn't this where we...
Oh, shit. Look over there.
The hell? Who are these clowns?
I don't know. This is the first time I ever seen anyone else here. Let's sneak up closer.
What? Where the hell you going?
I think I got a plan.
Perfect. That's what we want, is Uncle to have a plan, dude.
Hurry up.
I'm doing the best I can, so shut up.
Hurry up and be quiet.
You said he was a drunkard. You said that we could play the fiddle and we wouldn't wake him.
I was talking in a metaphor.
Now hurry up.
Oh, what's a metaphor? You're a jackass. That's a metaphor. You're a son of a bitch. Well, that ain't one. Now get back to looking out. And shut up.
So, what now?
I thought you had a plan.
I ain't so sure now.
Christ. I'll take care of him. You hear that?
It ain't nothing.
Oh, I heard something. Hurry up.
How can I hear anything with all... Close the gap, boys!
Oh, I could have shot them? I was trying to be quiet that whole time. Not that it, like, worked out well, because they ended up just blasting off rounds
Come on,
anyway.
You better break the padlock. My lock-picking skills ain't what they used to be.
What a surprise.
Can I not just, like... Oh, where's my hat? That's not my hat. I would assume... Oh, that's mine right there. I found it. There we go. That's my hat.
That was loud.
Yeah, well, we ain't got time. He said he ain't gonna wake up, and we ain't seen him yet. I'll get him out. Right up next to the house to keep him from running off on us. Let's go. Up, up. Move. Yeah, yeah. Move it. Keep moving.
Let's go, moo cows. Come on, dudes.
Come on.
Alright, so they're starting to move out. Perfect.
Move it up.
This guy's gonna come out of the house, isn't he?
Go. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Move. Keep moving. Yeah, yeah. Let's go.
Okay, so we got the cows out.
What the hell? I'm being robbed. Damn you, goddamn robbers. Come.
He knocked himself out.
Oh, dang, he's got a pump action? Yeah. Is there anything worth grabbing in here? I doubt there is. This seems like, this feels like one of those houses where, like, they kind of bait you into wasting your time. But maybe there's a gold nugget in here, dude. That'd be sick. I really wouldn't be upset about that at all. Coin purse. Okay, right on. $2. Hell yeah. Some jewel. Okay, all right. This is worth it. 2 gold earrings. Right on. That's like friggin' $25. Hell yeah. Maybe this is where it's at. And a money clip. What? It's gonna be like, what, 15 bucks? 10 bucks? Okay, okay. Yo, this is fine, dude. And some food. Yeah, this is a good haul, dude. This works out totally fine. I'm okay with all this. Why do I feel like I've never done this mission before? Literally none of this is familiar to me.
I think one of them run off.
Oh, shit.
You all right here? I'll go get that one back.
So yeah, this ended up being pretty worthwhile, dude. It's definitely not like the biggest haul we could have taken, but like, got like 35 bucks worth of stuff, dude. I feel like I'm definitely missing something too. I just got a carbine in here too, dang. Alright. Alright, well, let's get on our horse. Let's get the hell out of here.
Wait, have we lost one?
Come on. Move it. Move.
Nice.
Up, up.
That's a lot of cows, bro. Are we bringing all of them back to Shady Belle? There ain't no way.
Hold on, we need to touch up where we're going here.
Go, go.
Oh shit, 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 shit. No, 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 no.
Whoa. Keep moving.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh. Let's go. Yeah. Ah.
Bro, imagine if a train comes right now and takes out all these freaking cows.
Up, up.
I'd be freaking heartbroken, dude.
Hey.
Where are we bringing them? No, they're not going to Shady Belle, are they? No, they're selling. Oh, the horse guys. What? We're selling these to the horse guys?
Move it.
What?
Easy.
No friggin' way, dude. Where do they get money for 20 cows, dude? Oh, that's probably 20 bucks a head.
Well, hey there. What you got?
Cattle.
Well, I can see that. Whose cattle?
Yours now, if the price is right.
Well, I can give you 50 bucks.
Okay. 50 bucks each times 20 cattle.
No, 50 total. This is old Squeer's cattle. He knows me. I can't do better than that. I'll have to move him right away.
We'll take 200, friend.
But I got costs.
150.
75 and not a dollar more.
100, and I don't shoot you.
So menacing. Clyde, pay your friend here. Bye now. Be careful out there.
You really
This
played
is
that like an
nasty
idiot.
country.
There. Don't
Like-
forget to put some in the pot.
Oh, of course. Like I told you, easy.
Sure, I guess.
I'm headed home. You coming?
Nah, I'll see you later.
I feel like Arthur starting at 200 was probably low. You know what I mean? I would expect like 20 bucks a cow. So 400 should have been like top dollar, and settling for like 250, 300 should have been where it was at. The fact that you just dropped from 200 to like 150 seems a little bit insane to me. But I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't understand the price of cows. But at $100 for 20 cows, that's what, $5 a cow? Yeah, that's $5 a cow. That seems ridiculous. It should have been minimum, like, 10 bucks a cow. Minimum, dude. It just seems weird. But anyway, I don't know. Deal's done, dude. Not much more we could do about that now. Oh, I gotta clean my guns next time I go into Saint Denis. Gotta go to that old gunsmith, clean them up. I do gotta try farming for some, what do you call it too? Some good, I gotta work on my satchels. Before we finish the game, I'm gonna try to get all my satchel stuff done. Just going out and finding animals is quite a nightmare, dude. It really isn't super fun. But I think there's a map you can get to show you wildlife on the map, I think, right? Like, I know it won't show you, but I think there's like a thing that'll show you, like, oh, there's deer here, there's pigs here, there's freaking cows here. Like, it'll show you where animals are, I think. I want to say that exists. I might be wrong, but I think that's a thing. We're going to go back to Shady Belle. We're going to do this mission for Dutch. I think this is where we start getting ready to rob the bank. If I remember correctly, robbing the bank goes to shit real bad. But that's where we get most of our money, and then that's where the end game kind of starts to kick in. Like, this game kind of starts, but like, Arthur's not even like coughing yet, so I don't think we're quite there yet. And him being sick, like, you're sick for a while, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of hide it from everybody for a good while. Like, I can't remember if we go to another camp though. I thought Shady Belle was like the last camp, but I might be wrong. There might be another one. And I'm just somehow forgetting that it exists. But I really do feel like there's another camp. Like, isn't there a camp like near San Benito we get, like closer to San Benito or something? Well, I guess I'll find out, because we've been at Shady Belle for long enough that it's probably gonna try to move us pretty soon. And then we're gonna have our Sadie missions too. Although you definitely spend more time with Sadie as John than you do as Arthur, but Sadie is such a badass, dude. Like, she kicks so much ass. I think I would rather take her in a fight than like anybody else in the game. Lenny, put on some clothes.
Hi, Lenny.
Just walk around in your friggin' pajamas, dude. Come on. Imagine if you got attacked right now, you'd be getting into a firefight in your goddamn PJs. Alright, Yutch. Who the hell is that? Oh, that's
alright?
Yeah, that was quite a mess to clean up.
Look at this fucking guy. Looking out on his porch.
So,
But he's
Arthur,
done
you get the
nothing to earn.
deciding vote.
About what? We take an insult and scurry off like cockroaches? Or deal with business the right way?
We don't need to take revenge. We hardly know the guy.
This ain't about revenge, Hosea. Angelo Bronte don't mean shit to me. This is about the fact we are planning to rob a bank in his town.
A bank that he no doubt protects.
A town where his men are gunning for us. Before we do that, we need to put him out
I
of commission.
disagree. There's always an easier way.
There ain't no easier way. Now, I know his type. He is a vindictive little power broker who rules by fear. Now, we pull that stunt in his cesspit of a town, we're doomed. You want to leave this place? Leave this country? We need that money.
Just don't feel good.
Oh, we still got the whole
This is
Guatemala part too.
This is the last job that we are ever going to pull. Before the year is out, we are going to be harvesting mangoes in Tahiti. Farmers. But we need seed capital, and we need to leave. You know it. I know it.
Forgive me if I can't think too much about the mango harvest.
This is it. Trust me. Arthur.
If it's business, well, business is business.
Angelo Bronte stands between us and our future.
You'll damn us all.
Arthur, come on.
You better be right about this one.
I am.
God, Dutch sucks.
I've heard that before, and usually I've been right.
No, you
If
haven't.
You say so.
You haven't, bro. You've been
Doubting
such a
Arthur
piece of shit this
does
whole
no
game.
favors. Come on.
It's crazy.
We
My
need to
first
go see
playthrough,
your
I
man
really,
about
like,
the
I hadn't played Red Dead Redemption yet, which I'm happy I didn't. I much rather would have, like, I think playing Red Dead Redemption and then going back to this,
boat? We're headed to a settlement called LaGrange.
I think that's a problem.
Boatman there
Like,
called
it kind
Thomas who knows
of
these
gives away a
waters
lot of
like
this
the back
story.
his hand. My
So I never played it up until after I beat Red Dead 2, and the whole time I really was like, Dutch is a good guy, he's just got a little bit of a god complex, but once you kind of play through the whole game and you see how things turn out, he really he sucks, dude. He really, really, really sucks. He's the worst.
I do still possess some capacity for rational thought, Arthur.
Okay then, girl.
Okay, follow me. Thank you.
For what?
For taking my side back there.
It ain't about sides.
Feels like Hosea's lost. His spine.
But this move on Bronte, is it for the bank job? Or revenge for what happened at the trolley station?
Both. Yep.
Neither. What does it matter? We need to hit that bank. And Bronte has the police and just about everything else in Saint Denis in his back pocket. He also set us up. And lest we forget, took young Jack.
I understand. We just got a lot of pots on the boil, given all the folks who's out gunning for us.
You all seem to have forgotten how money is made and what it takes to support 20 people. Let alone what it takes to give 20 people a new life overseas.
With all due respect, Dutch, is this
Now-
Tahiti plan really gonna work out?
You know
You tell me, Arthur.
that if he did the math, right? If Dutch did the math and he was like, we need, we'll say, $2,000 a head to start a new life, which I don't think $2,000 is enough. Even back then, you probably needed like about $5 to start a brand new life, let's say, comfortably, like you moved to Tahiti. So let's say each person needs $5 right?
Of course.
So that's
This isn't a prison
$100,000,
I am
right?
not forcing anybody to
So
stay. So
you
either
know
they're in this
that if
together,
Dutch said, hey, we got to get together $100,000,
together, or we're not.
once that money was in hand, he would say, fuck the 20 people. He would invite like 2 or 3 of his favorite people to go to Tahiti with him and take the money for themselves and abandon everybody. You know that's what he would do. Or he would take the cash and just flee and keep all of it to himself. You know that.
We need to move, and soon.
Because he won't need the people anymore. Once he's got away to Tahiti, it doesn't matter. He doesn't need anybody once he's down there.
Let me do the talking.
And then he knows he's going to be somewhere where nobody's going to come after him. You know what I mean? Like, you know that Dutch would do that. Like, the guy is such a scumbag, dude. He's such a scumbag. Oh, this mission.
It is good to see you, my
Right.
friend.
I forgot
Oh,
about
Mr.
this.
Dutch. Thomas, have you met Arthur? Arthur? Thomas is quite the boatman. He's going to help us get close to our prey. The other night we had quite the adventure fishing for catfish. Now, my friend, can I call in that favor?
What do you need?
You know Angelo Bronte. Well, exactly. We need to make a social call. We were hoping you could row us in quietly one evening around the back of his house.
Well, if anyone can, I can.
We'll pay you for your trouble.
If you bringing him trouble, it won't be no trouble for me.
Good.
My business partner, Jules, he's out on the skiff. I need to check with him. Plus, I need to check the traps. Would you come with me?
Of course. Arthur?
Why not?
Shouldn't take too long if we can find him. Be lively. Mind you, there's a lot of gators. Uncommon number. Big ones.
Great.
Come now, Arthur.
Some big motherfuckers out there, dude.
Prehistoric
Heads up.
reptile to scare you,
Heads up,
surely.
some fucking monster
I
gators,
just
dude.
want to see you meet your match when it comes to an aging predator with a big mouth, Dutch.
Arthur here is something of a comedian, Thomas. More of a jester than a gunslinger.
Well, if you say so, Mr. Dutch. This way. Come on, this way. Follow me here. And stay on the higher ground.
You call this ground? It feels like water to me.
Down here, we can't be too picky there, Mr. Arthur.
Got a couple of crayfish traps up ahead.
Mr. Dutch, you keep a lookout for company. Mr. Arthur, check the traps with me.
Is that a snake? Yeah, it's a snake.
This one's empty.
All right. I got a few more set over this way. Come on.
I don't want to know what just touched my leg.
Mr. Dutch, you sure you the right fellas to be going after Angelo Bronte?
Oh, he's much more the kind of reptile I can handle.
Now stay close. Make sure you follow my line.
Oh, I fully intend to, Thomas.
You too, Mr. Arthur.
Oop, that's a
You
gator.
can see why evening swamp wading hasn't caught on as a pastime, can't you?
I love it out here. Peaceful. Nobody bothering you now. Except for the night folks sometimes.
The night folk.
Forgot about the night
some
folks.
strange people around these parts. Wilder than the animals they are.
Well, this just gets better and better.
How did I forget about the night folks, dude? They're fucking wacky. Don't you see a couple in this mission?
Whoa. Stop where you are.
Jesus.
It's a gator. Just stay as still as you can.
Huge bitch.
All right, let's keep moving. I got another trap by that small island up ahead. I don't know what's taking Jules so long with that boat.
I think we are all equally keen to find her.
There's some night folk camp right there, isn't it? We run into them this mission, I thought.
Give me a hand here, Mr. Arthur. This trap is stuck in the mud. It happens.
Guess something didn't want to be caught.
My gosh. So it's true.
What is?
There's been talk of a big old bull, but people talk a lot of nonsense. I guess this was... No, but only something huge could do this.
Fantastic. Let's hope it bites you first, Dutch.
Should we just keep moving? I don't really want to hang around here much longer.
All right, I suppose this can wait. Let's go.
Imagine the balls. Like, people do this. People do wade through swamps like this. The nuts you've got to have on you to freaking wade through a swamp like this, man. You can step on the back of a crocodile at any point in time, and they will just rip your limbs off your body, dude. It's crazy, bro. Those are little gators, too. Don't we fight one that's like freaking 10 times the size of those things? It's over there. I think that little camp over there.
Good eating.
Us or them?
Exactly. Come on.
I think that little camp over there is one of the sketchy camps. I think. I might be wrong, but I think.
We really should have run into Jules by now. I reckon we should split up so we can search both sides.
Okay, Arthur, since you appear so at home here, you take the right. We'll go left.
What?
Just keep your eyes open.
Man, I don't know, dude. I got a feeling that Jules is dead as hell, dude. Like, I ain't trying to be negative or nothing, but, what's up, dude? Yes, sir. The streams are usually pretty funny. As long as I'm not playing a game where I'm getting stressed out, dude, we usually have a decent bit of fun around here. And that's why I'm always trying to find, like, new games that are worth playing that aren't, like, super serious. I might do a GTA 5 playthrough next, because I haven't played that one in a few years, and I do really, really like that story. So and that one's got a lot of comedy, so we might do GTA 5. Dude, this guy is lost in the swamp, bro. Look at that, though. That's a freaking hole if I ever seen one.
Hey,
God dang, dude.
someone there?
Yeah, I was doing X-Defying, and I enjoy X-Defying. I think it's a very good game, but they kind of blew it up with the latest patch. And I hit like level 103 or something, and I was like, I'm done for now. Like, it's just too much. It's way too much. I could do San Andreas. I did buy the remaster pack with like GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. So I could play those for sure. I think I started San Andreas and I didn't really get super far in it. I really do want to play GTA 3 again though. I miss GTA 3. Actually, I think I've got all of them except for like GTA 1 and 2.
That must be him.
Like I got 3, I got Vice City, I got San Andreas, I got 4, I got 5, I got 4 Liberty City Stories. I'm pumped for 6 though, dude. I'm so freaking excited for GTA 6. It's not even funny, bro. I'm so ready for GTA 6. Dude, I'm looking at you, bro. What are you doing up there? What happened, Chief? Can I climb the tree?
Hello? Hey, you in the tree?
What a weird command.
What are you doing? There's a monster. A monster.
Oh man, I was like in the prime of my life, dude.
There's a monster.
I think that game came out in what, like 2005?
Where'd he go?
Is that right? 2005, 2006? I was like 15 or 16, man. I was in the goddamn prime of my life when that game came out.
You must be Jules.
Yes,
Where is the boat?
over there. I ran. Oh,
Okay. And where'd this monster swim off to?
I think that way.
Okay, I'm gonna go shoot it
Good
then.
luck shooting that thing.
I'm
You'll
old,
need a
man.
tank.
I'm 33 years old, dude. I'm old as dirt, dog. Freaking ancient, man.
Stuck, I think.
Alright, let's go get your boat, because you couldn't handle your shit. You got the boat done running up down this log. You couldn't do it, dude. You couldn't swing it, could you? You couldn't swing it, could you? You really messed this thing up good, dude. This guy's like, please go get my boat that I broke while I hang out in this tree that I ran up. Because I'm too freaking scared. Hey, what the? I'm not even touching anything right now. Arthur's just doing all this on his own.
I got the skiff. It's over here.
Nah, I'm old, dude. I got a kid, I got a house, I got a wife, I got a full-time job, I like pay for insurance and shit. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's a whole thing, dude. I'm like a whole ass adult, man. It's wild. It's fucking wild, dude.
Let's get back to the dock.
Yes, please, let's go.
Alright, so we fight that alligator, right? Oh, we shoot at it. We shoot at the alligator, dude. We shoot at the alligator. That's what happens. The thing comes after us, tries to eat us. It's gonna bust the cap, dude.
Thank God.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So, who are these fellas, Thomas?
2 new friends of mine.
I always tell people, like,
I thought I was gonna be
So
up
like
there
I
all
turned
night.
33 back in December, but like I feel like I'm 60, dude. Like I feel like I've been working on hitting 60 for a long time. Like I'm pretty sure I was born being 40 years old. Like I'm such a crotchety old shit, dude.
You're gonna need to jump in and pull us free.
Me?
Yeah, just do it. Won't take you a minute, boy. Go on.
This is a bad idea.
You'll be fine, dude.
You'll see any giant monster long before
Stop freaking out. You'll be fine, kid.
Got a couple of crack gunslingers here with their guns loaded.
Yeah, we got your back, dude. Relax. There's no monster, dude.
It's just a myth, Jules. Now pull.
There's no monster, Jules. Oh, there you go. Hell yeah, dude.
Pull, boy.
Jules?
He tripped. He's fine. He's fine.
No, I'm going in. No, we can't lose the boat. Arthur will go. Well, quick. Hurry, Arthur.
He's fine, dude. Look at him over there. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. You're gonna be fine, kid. Stop panicking. Here I come, dude. I'm coming to save you, dude. I just shoot him in the head. Could you imagine, dude? Here I come, kid. You're fine, dude. Just stop freaking out, man. What are you messing around for? Get up out of there, dude. What are you playing games for? Where'd he go? God. Yeah, fucking Dutch. Come on, Arthur. You can find him. Hurry up, Arthur. Hurry up, Arthur. Like, get your ass in the water then, dude. His leg's all fucked up, right? Like, his leg is outright missing, dude. The 25th, man.
A couple of warning shots just to pretend you care.
All right, you're shooting mighty close, Dutch. And I really don't trust your ability to fire a gun, dude. I've seen you in action. You're pretty trash. Everyone's rushing me, dude, but nobody's really helping me, bro. Like, what the hell is this, dude? Oh, I'm out of stamina. Oh, that sucks. That's part of the mission. Come on, hurry up! Hurry up! Come on, Arthur, hurry up! Hurry up! Everyone's rushing my ass, dude. Just chill. Come on the way. Get in the boat now. Oh yeah, look at he's all fudged up, dude. Dang, bro. Oh, look at him. Bah, bah. Here, we're gonna do the crazy thing. Ready? Okay, you want some of this? He just ate that dynamite, dude. He just ate that freaking dynamite.
I think he's going.
Shit, that
Holy
was
hell.
one big old gate.
Oh, your boy doesn't look too good there.
Here, take this. Try to stop the bleeding.
Trying to stop the bleeding. He hands me a fucking roll of paper towels, dude. Or a fucking roll of toilet paper. Oh, man.
I heard that.
This is not how you apply a bandage. What are you doing? Why are you wrapping that so loose, dude?
There's still a lot of blood. You need to put pressure on it.
He's dead.
I
Died.
stopped the bleeding.
He stopped the bleeding because his
Think
heart
he'll be
stopped
okay?
pumping.
If he don't get a fever.
Alright, he's okay. His fucking head falls off.
A fever is the least of our worries.
He's like, let me loosely wrap this. I remember I did I took a course a few years ago, like it's like a general, just, I'll be honest, it was it wasn't like an end of time survival course, but it was just like a how to survive out of a backpack for like a week type of thing. And one of the guys in the course, so they gave us some tourniquets to learn how to like stage a tourniquet and how to set one up and use it and everything. And some dude in the class like did not understand how to wrap up a tourniquet tight, and they had you kind of practice on your own leg, and then maybe you go like full tight, but just like they'd have you like tighten it down and then fucking crank it up a little bit, like enough that you understood what kind of pressure it needed. And this dude didn't get it, and like I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna die. If he ever gets shot, he's gonna straight up die because he doesn't understand. Like you've gotta, you've gotta put so much pressure on a tourniquet that you've gotta literally crimp. You're like a garden hose. How you can like crimp a garden hose or kink a garden hose. You're doing that with like all of your veins and arteries and everything. That's literally what the point is. That you flatten them all out. And this dude wasn't getting it. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Both of you. I'm at your service anytime you need.
Thank you, Thomas. Where can we find?
And they were talking about what you keep in your backpack. And I was like, a couple of MREs, so like meal bars. This guy's like, oh, Lunchables. We're like, you keep Lunchables in your bag? He's like, yeah. He's like, they don't need to be refrigerated. They last for years.
Mr. Arthur?
Everyone's like, yeah, they need to be refrigerated, dude.
Kill some good folks.
Fucking dude, just like threw fucking Lunchables in his backpack, and they were sitting in there for months. We're like, bro, these things are going bad for sure, dude. Could you imagine, like, something happens where you gotta leave, and you grab your bag, you think you got food in your bag, and you're out in the woods one night, and you're finally ready to like crack open this Lunchable you've been dying for, and it's just full of fucking mold because you're a moron. Oh my god, dude. I was like, holy shit. Dude, it was dumb as hell though. I don't know, I honestly think it was like he would like a friend of his bought him like a pass to the course or something, because he didn't know anything about guns. He didn't know anything about like survival at all. Like I went in there knowing like minimal stuff about survival, but this guy knew jack all, and it was like very, very clear that he didn't even know like where to begin. And I thought it was cool the guy was trying, but he really wasn't trying. Like he took nothing to heart that the instructor said. And I don't know, if something ever happens, dude, I don't think that dude's gonna make it more than a day, honestly. Oh yeah, they had us. So we didn't do a ton with guns. It was they mostly kind of taught you how to hunt, how to maintain your guns, how to zero in the field. It was just like very, very, like we maybe spent 20 minutes on gun stuff. But it was at least like gave you a good rundown on like, and like their main thing is they were like, you know, if you ever get in a situation you get in a gunfight, if you can walk away from it, just walk away from it. And I think that there's not a ton of courses that kind of give you that mindset. And a lot of them are just like, this is how you fight, and like it's good to know how to fight. Like absolutely, if you're in like the end times, you should know how to get through a gunfight. But like if you have an exit from a gunfight, fucking get out, dude. Just go. Like there's no need to stick around if you don't need to. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you guys are locked down as hell over there. I mean, we're not, the state that I'm in, we're pretty locked down too. Not nearly the level you guys are over there. But we're certainly not like how Texas or Florida is, where like you can literally just walk into a store right now and buy some shit. Although I think even in those states you still got a couple days waiting time, but like you don't need like a permit, you don't need anything. You just like, as long as you're over 18 or 21, you can just walk in and buy whatever you want. It's looking crazy. I'm not going to give out my state. But I will say it is one of
Hey, Bill,
probably in the top three-ish, probably top 5, top 3 most restrictive states in the country. Like we really can't.
I was no sharpshooter.
Oh, that's right. What was it? The nation's
everything that you can own in our state has its own very specific classification for guns. Like I've got an AR-15, but it's not technically an AR-15. It's technically a pistol. It's
Only
just
type of
very
savage
annoying.
in
It's
these
very,
parts
very,
are
very annoying, dude.
moonshine, swilling, pompous, inbred locals.
Dutch, I saw things out there.
I don't doubt
But
you
it is
saw
what it
things,
is.
Bill, but your tiny little mind was too small to comprehend.
Hopefully
what you saw.
things
What
get
you
a little bit better.
saw
There's a
was people who lost everything to
there's a local
savagery,
organization
savagery
that
of
has
peasants.
been
Failures come from Europe
actively
to wreak
suing
some
our
awful
state for
vengeance on
years,
God's
and it
last
sounds like they're
creation.
making some headway on some very ridiculous laws that have been passed. So hopefully they roll back a few of them. And there's like literally 3 or 4 laws that have been passed. If they can just reverse those, that would be massive quality of life changes that aren't really that massive, but they would feel huge for us. So one of the things our state did is they passed a law where you cannot own a magazine that holds over 10 rounds. At least a detachable magazine. If it's welded, so like if you've got an AR-15 and you've got a steel or aluminum magazine that's welded to the lower receiver, you can have a 30 round or a 60 round mag or whatever. You just have to pop open the upper and manually feed the magazine every time. Same thing with like these lever action rifles, like in this game. You can take so that bottom tube, I'm pointing it on the screen, but so there's the barrel, right? The front sight is on top of the barrel. Below that is the magazine, or it's essentially the magazine. You can take like a freaking 9-foot long piece of metal, weld it onto the end of that tube, and jam a big spring in there. It can hold 100 rounds, and that's fine. But detachable mags, so like handguns, like I've got a couple of Glock 19s. I cannot have a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds, or else it's considered anything above that is considered a high capacity magazine. Which my logic is that's kind of insane because Glocks come with standard a 15 round magazine. So how is it a high capacity magazine if like that's the standard? If you had to, like, I figure anything high capacity would be whatever is above like the standard. So like an AR-15, the standard magazine holds 15 rounds or 30 rounds. So like if I want to buy a 60 round magazine, fine. Tell me that's a high capacity magazine, but what do you mean? What the fuck did I do? He goes, God damn it, Arthur. But yeah, our state has been very insane, and I'm not about it. And I very much want to move. Like honestly, just for gun stuff. Because I'm very sick and tired of like being constantly fucked. And like the crazy thing too is they'll switch up laws that they've already passed. So like let's say they make you register. So like one of the laws, yeah, you basically got to buy it with like a shittier magazine, or you can't have it. You can't even own it. Like, even owning a high-capacity magazine is illegal. That'll work. Damn it. Texas is... You can own whatever the fuck you want. You can't own, like, fully automatic guns. Like, you can't go buy an automatic AR-15. But that's just federal. But you can own basically whatever. There's really no restrictions on what you can and can't own. Like they're just like, yeah, just fucking buy it. We don't care.
Let's get in there.
How the fuck?
Shoot that lock, Arthur.
Oh, shoot the lock.
Good. Now kick that damn door in.
I don't want this double barrel. You serious?
Look out! It's over!
That's how you want to do it?
That was a little close.
Oh, that's a mirror.
Don't you know when to quit?
Scared the shit out of me. What the fuck? But yeah, no, it's dead? So you can, like, there's a lot of, like, gangsters that do that. There's really no, but, like, there's really no, like, let me figure out a way to phrase this that doesn't sound fucking shitty. But there's no, like, law-abiding gun owner that's going out there and modding their guns to be automatic. There's some, like, weird parts you can buy that, like, mimic automatic fire. So, like, bump stocks were a big thing, and they actually just rolled back our laws on bump stocks. But basically what a bump stock does, I think they're garbage. I've used them, and I think they're a waste of money. But what a bump stock does is, what are you doing? It basically, when you fire the gun, the recoil coming back, it basically uses like the backwards and forwards motion of the recoil, and it allows you to hit the trigger without actually having to, like, you know, pull the trigger. So every time you fire the gun and it has that, like, forward momentum, it basically, like, lets the gun fire for you. And that just, like, mimics automatic fire, but, like, the trigger is still getting pulled for every shot. There is, like, you can buy switches for your Glock. Completely illegal. Nobody that's buying a gun from a gun store, is going out and buying a switch for their gun because it's just not worth the effort. It's not worth the effort. It's not worth the aggravation or the stress. Like, nobody's doing that. The only people that are going out there breaking gun laws are people that have, like, bought their guns illegal and they're using their guns for bad shit. Like, I'm sure there's guys out there that are, I don't know, that are breaking, like, minor gun laws. Like, maybe they're getting, like there was a popular thing where Temu was selling what they were calling, what were they called? Solvent traps, and they were basically suppressors that you could buy off Temu for like $40. They weren't good quality, but they did work. And there's some guys that bought those. Downside with that is the ATF was monitoring these being purchased online. And quite a few people ended up, like, getting arrested for buying them. Or at least they'd try to confiscate them. Like, if the ATF came to your house and they were like, hey, did you buy one of these solvent traps off of Alibaba? And you were like, yeah, so what? If they had a warrant and they found the solvent trap, like, even on the same floor as your guns, they call that, there's a term for it. It's like, it's like implied construction or something. What the fuck is it called? I'm gonna look it up. That's gonna bug me if I can't figure it out. It is called... It's like constructive something, or... This is gonna bug the hell out of me. Well, like, it's like a for me thing now. It's gonna bug the living hell out of me. Um, but there's a very specific charge for it. Like implied construction. Um, Constructive possession, that's what it is. Constructive possession. So if you own a gun part that's deemed illegal, so one of the big things in the United States as of
What are you waiting for?
I don't know, like last year-ish, earlier this year, what ended up happening was they there's a classification of rifles called an SBR. It stands for short-barreled rifle. I'm sure you've seen it like in movies and video games, like in Call of Duty Ghosts. If you saw the Honey Badger, it's a rifle with like a little 10-inch barrel, 9-inch barrel, right? If the length of the gun overall is under, I think it's 32 inches, it's considered a short-barreled rifle. And it's got that classification because it's much easier to hide, much easier to conceal. So it's got its own classification outside of just like a standard length rifle, which is over 32 or 36 inches in full length. And one of the things that people in other states were doing, not mine has its own very specific laws, but something that they were doing in other states is they would put what's considered a pistol brace on their guns that without a pistol brace, like a regular stock, would be considered an SBR, right? And so what they'll do is, oh, I forgot we do this guy, that's right. And so a pistol brace, it looks like a stock, but the intention of it by the manufacturers is people that maybe have like some kind of like a health issue where they can't shoulder an AR or something. It allows them to basically like take the stock section, put it on their forearm, and they can strap it up, and they can hold a rifle that or hold a gun that way. So people started using pistol brace on the back of their guns. Now, legally, it could be shouldered, but that's not the intention. So that makes it not a stock. The ATF out of the blue was like, hey, these are now considered stocks, which completely blew up how a bunch of laws were written. It caused a whole bunch of issues. So for a while there, people were taking their pistol braces off of their rifles, and the ATF was like, well, if you have one in your house near a gun that it will fit on, you'll get charged with constructive possession because you could take that pistol brace, which is now considered a stock, and put it on this gun. Which,
what are you gonna say now?
Just think about that is nuts. Like, you could do it. You haven't, but you could, so it's illegal.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
So right.
That's like charging people for having like baking powder or baking soda. Being like, you could use this to make crack, so we're gonna arrest you for it. You know what I mean? Like, the implication is just insane. Yeah, I don't like to put out my state, only because that gets a little bit too close to home. I know that's probably a silly thing to do. I'm sure I mentioned it before, but yeah, it's the whole oh shit. Later, Bronte. The whole thing was insane. They actually just overturned that though about a week or so ago, so that was really big. But yeah,
weakness.
And I know that it sounds ridiculous complaining about parts and shit when you come from a country where you literally can't own anything.
But it is us or him.
But it's.
I figure it might as well be.
I don't know. I don't know how it is over there too. Like, I've always kind of just assumed that there's still like gangsters and shit that have guns. Like, I feel like you can still get them, but I don't know if that's actually true. Like, all that I can really go on is what I hear other Americans say about the UK, And I know one of the guys I talked to, he's like, yeah, no, he's like, people doing illegal shit still have guns. He was like, guns still exist. Bad shit still happens with them all the time. But I don't know if that's actually true. I feel like no matter where you are in the world, it is extremely hard to get away with like having no guns around, period. You know, like Russia and the Middle East is just so chock full of guns, a lot of which I will say, at least in the Middle East, a lot of those came from the United States. But I feel like there's so many floating around in that part of the world that like it's really not hard to get yourself some goodies. Like it's really not hard. I could be totally wrong about that, but that's what I've been told. But I really can't say if any of the sources I've heard info from are actually accurate. But I know like up in Canada, they are extremely restrictive up there. But a buddy of mine that lives up there, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, there's gangsters shooting each other all the time.
The distraction will buy you all the time you need.
Oh, 100%. So there's federal law, which technically supersedes everything.
Look, the bank.
But it only goes one way. So if federally, they're like, hey, you can own this gun, right? But then the state says, no, you can't. You can't. Right? Like you have to listen to the state law. The state law says you can't own that. But if it's the reverse, I'm gonna butcher explaining this. You have to follow state law.
I reckon.
And a lot of states will kind of just go by what federal law is. But states absolutely have their own laws in place that you have to follow. It's very kind of looted. It's very ridiculous. And federal law really just sets a precedent of like, this is what we accept nationally. Build your laws around these rules. And most states are pretty chill in a lot of ways, but some of them really not good. Like California, California has become this very bizarre example of completely ignoring every federal law that's in place and writing their own laws that make zero goddamn sense. So over in California way, they were like, oh, we need to start helping and trimming down the population of homeless people, right? There's a ton of them in California. So federally, there's not really any laws about being homeless. Like it's not illegal to be homeless, which obviously would be crazy if there was. There's assistance programs to kind of help homeless people find jobs, live relatively safely while living on the streets. California though was like, no, we're gonna help the homeless by giving them drugs, by giving them places to do drugs, by giving them money for drugs or alcohol. We're gonna give them a place to live where they can safely do their drugs. Like they basically enabled a bunch of homeless drug addicts and alcoholics, and then people that were just like homeless by just having a tough life, losing their job or whatever. Those people they kicked to the curb. So if you look online, there's like entire homeless cities in California where it's just full of people doing all sorts of drugs. The cops don't do anything. They literally do nothing to like actually help. They just help them to stay high, so they try to cut down on crime by feeding them drugs, because they figure if we're giving them free drugs, they're not going to rob people for drug money. So they basically just hand out drugs to homeless people. It's fucking crazy. California is hella expensive to live, dude. Their taxes are nuts. They're giving out so much money to people that really don't need it. It's ridiculous. Like San Francisco used to be one of like the nicest cities to live in, and now it's like it's a homeless mecca. And there's literally like medical facilities on the corners that give out like fentanyl and whatever, like dosages of fentanyl. And it's so bad that it's like a meme that the streets are covered in homeless people's shit because they're just like pooping all over the streets and the sidewalks. Like you can't, if you live in San Francisco and you're just like you're like a normal citizen, you're trying to get out of San Francisco because every time you walk outside there's just needles everywhere. It's fucking crazy, dude. But then California's got the balls to be like, yeah, we are reducing crime and we are helping the homeless, and they basically like they try to make it look like they are helping homeless people get off of drugs. They're trying to get them set up with rehab and do all this stuff, but they're really not. It's nuts. Well, I mean, the memes about fentanyl are just the United States in general, dude. Fentanyl has taken over this country in a way that, and I know it's everywhere, it's not just the US, it's globally, but there's certain cities and districts that are way worse than others. Like if you go on YouTube, there's a dude named, just to give you an idea, let me find his channel really quick. There's a dude named, I like how tonight it's a very serious conversation. The dude's channel is Tyler Oliveira. And he does a lot of, he travels all around the country, and I don't know what his politics are, and a lot of people don't like him because of his politics, I guess. I haven't looked into it, but he goes to all these different cities and states where, like, they are doing things the wrong way, and he'll show you, like, what Trank looks like, and, like, what users of Trank look like. It's fucking crazy, dude.
No crime at all. Folk like this, they stole what this country
my state is in the middle. Like, we're not handing out drugs to anybody, but we're certainly not doing as much as we could do to help. Like, that's for damn sure. So fentanyl is, it's basically like synthetic heroin that's ridiculously strong. Like, if you don't do drugs, like if you don't do opiates, and you snorted like enough to put on like the tip of a pencil, you'd probably die. And I'm not kidding. Like, it would probably kill you. It's logically more. So do you remember OxyContin from years and years and years ago, and how people were like, oh my God, this stuff is so strong. One pill is killing people. It makes fucking OxyContin look like Tylenol. Like, there's literally no need for it to be as potent as it is. It's insane, dude. Like, it's actually fucking insane. There's no need for it to exist. The whole thing is that it's made for people that are like lifelong opiate users for chronic pain. And it's supposed to be for those people so they don't have to take 20 pills a day. But China manufactures it by the tonnage, and they lose it all the time. Like, it's madness, dude. Like, it does not need to be as strong as it is. And like, it literally, like, the biggest problem with it is there's people that are taking it because they, you know, because they're like addicted to opiates. They're addicted to heroin, so they do fentanyl because it's stronger. They're gonna take less of it. It wears off quicker, so you're really not saving yourself any money. But it's really, 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 really potent. So people will take it, and they don't know what their dosage is. And they go out and they freaking kill themselves. You know what I mean? But the really, really big issue that you see about on the news all the time is that they're putting it in, like, literally everything. So one thing that's really popular in the US, and that might not be true for over your way, but in the US, fake Xanaxes are a very, very, very big market. And so they'll actually take a lot of these fake Xanaxes and they'll cut them with fentanyl because it fucks people up, and a lot of people don't realize that what they're getting is a fake Xanax. So all these like college kids are taking what they think is Xanax, but it's fentanyl, and they fucking die. Same thing with like coke, same thing with weed. Like they put it in literally everything. And these poor people that are just trying to like party with their buddies on the weekend or whatever, they're taking a bump of coke and it fucking kills them. Like it's fucking crazy, dude. Like it's absolute insanity.
We got a problem out here.
No, you don't have to. Like they literally buy it like anything else, dude. Like drug dealers buy it. I'm assuming from our government, to be honest. I'm assuming it's from every government. But China ships out pallets of this shit that gets lost and nobody looks for it, and then ends up on the streets. So like, no, you literally just like, you buy fentanyl, it's a powder, and then people just like mix it up with coke. They sprinkle it on weed. They press it into like ecstasy pills. Like they just put it in whatever, dude. It's nuts. Xanax it's just like a little pill for anxiety. And it's super popular as like a, not as a party drug, I guess. I guess it's kind of a party drug for some people, but it like really tones you down. So if you got anxiety, it's great for chilling you out. Fucking Jose, bro. No, it's straight up synthetic. It's straight synthetic. It's fake like chemical heroin is what it is. And they just make it way stronger than it could possibly need to be. And then they just sell it, and people get a hold of it, and they put it in everything you can imagine. And they kill a lot of people with it. And I think that's the saddest part, is that it's a lot of people who are, it's people that like, they'll go to smoke weed, dude. Like they're going to smoke weed with their buddies, and little do they know the weed that they just bought actually has fentanyl sprinkled on it. Can you imagine going to smoke pot and then you fucking die? Could you imagine that, dude? Like it's wild, man. It's really wild. Like it's to the point now where it's like a lot of like local police stations, if you bring your drugs there, they'll test your drugs to make sure that they're not like containing fentanyl, and then they'll just like let you leave with your freshly tested drugs, dude.
Okay.
Alright, let's grab our dynamite. We're gonna blow a hole in that there wall, dude. Be sick. So if you put it in other, if you put it, so like let's say you sprinkle a little tiny bit of it onto weed, right? Depending, if you put like the right dose, people will get like this extra high, right? And they might not notice it, or maybe they'll notice it and they really like it. And then they'll go back to get that same pot because it was like really good and fucked him up nice and proper, right? So then you go and you get the same pot, and after you smoke that same weed for a couple days in a row, you're fucking hooked on fentanyl. Like, it's incredibly addictive, dude. Like, even like heroin on its own is crazy addictive. Fentanyl is like 20 times addictive. Like, you can literally use it once and you're fucking addicted. So like, you smoke a couple times and now you're addicted to fentanyl and you don't even know it. But like, you can go out and like, maybe that dealer knows, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, like you want that good shit, you get that same weed that I gave you last time. And then now you're just like, you think you're smoking pot, but you're straight up just like, now you're just straight up hooked on freaking fentanyl, dude. And you go back and eventually, like, maybe they sell you that same weed a couple times, and then eventually they kind of let you know you're hooked on fentanyl, and because you like it so much, you just keep buying it. Like, they basically get people hooked without them knowing that they're getting hooked. It's fucking dirty, but drug dealers have been doing that forever, dude. Like, that's been a thing forever. They used to do that with, they remember when I was growing up, they used to do that with coke. They used to put coke on weed, and then you'd smoke your weed and you'd get all zooted on coke and not realize it. And then a lot of people just started doing coke or they'd use heroin or whatever. And you end up getting freaking hooked on some hardcore shit because you didn't know what you were doing. It's fucking crazy. No, I mean, it has a very specific use case for people that are in chronic pain. So like, let's say you've got like, I don't know, you've got like multiple sclerosis or something, and you're in constant 10 out of 10 pain all day, every day. Those people are typically taking a lot of painkillers. Like maybe they take like 30 Percocet a day or something. The intention of fentanyl is that instead of taking 30 pills a day, you take 1 pill a day. That's the intention behind it. So for those people, I can't believe these guys killed Hosea and Lenny. That's fucked. That's so fucked. Fucking Dutch. I'm gonna kill Dutch. So like it's got benefits, but the amount of people that are using fentanyl for its intended purposes make up probably 1% of the fentanyl using community. Most of the people using it are straight up abusing it because it gets them really, 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 really high, and they don't need to use nearly as much of it. Like, I'm telling you, it's the vast majority of people using fentanyl don't need it. Nor do they need any type of, like, you know, painkiller at all. But because it gets them really fucking high, and they only need like a teeny tiny bit of it, they just keep using it, and you get hooked on it, and by the time you're hooked on it, you getting off is like it's borderline impossible, dude. Like, I don't know how people are supposed to quit doing fentanyl. Like, I don't know how that works. Like, I really don't know how anybody out there is supposed to get hooked on that shit and then not be on it anymore. Like, there's videos of people that are like, yeah, I've been trying to quit this shit for 5 years now. And like, I just can't. Like, I go to the, like, they don't have, so like the crazy thing is they really don't have a medication. So like, if you're quitting heroin, they'll give you like Suboxone or, what's the other one? Methadone or something. They don't have anything that's strong enough to counteract fentanyl, dude. Like, they just don't. Like, you just get really fucking sick. Like, borderline dying sick for months, dude. Like, you suffer and you suffer and you suffer. And I'm not gonna say that a lot of those people probably don't deserve it, but it's like, it's impossible to get off of it if you want to. It's fucked up.
What you mean? We stay here till nightfall. Then we
it's heroin, dude. It's the same type of high as heroin. It's an opiate. So it's the same thing as like heroin, Percocet, Vicodin. Like, those are all the same classification of drugs. It's that type of high, but it's like the absolute craziest form of it that you can get.
I'm guessing it's
like it's kind of like with weed, how there's like, you know, wax and shit. So like weed is the starter, and then there's like edibles. And then, like, the next thing up is, like, I don't know, I guess, like, resin or something. But then, like, the mecca is that wax shit that really fucks people up. What wax is, or whatever oil is to, like, the weed world, fentanyl is to the opiate world. Like, that is the craziest high you could possibly get. At this point, it's not new. It's been around for probably, like, almost a decade now.
Follow me.
But it really, really, really started blowing up probably in the last 5 years, maybe. That's probably really when people really started noticing it. And it's been killing people ever since.
What now? Just wait.
Got dynamite him? Oh, that's why I was having a hard time. I was using a double action. That'll do it.
Quick, get in cover and stay out of sight.
Yeah, like it doesn't get any more crazy than fentanyl.
We'll go through the train, Arthur. Come on.
But it's sad because a lot of the people that are on it, most of them didn't mean to get on it. They were trying to do something else. Even if they were just trying to do heroin, they got hooked on fentanyl because they mix it in with heroin a lot. Like, it's almost impossible to get actual heroin these days. Most of the people that are doing heroin are just doing fentanyl now, and they don't know it. But it really is an epidemic. Like, it's really bad, and nobody's being held accountable. Like, China is producing this stuff. Let's say the world needs 1 ton a month of fentanyl to be produced, right? Like, for actual legitimate real use around the world, 1 ton of this stuff needs to be made. China's turning out 100 tons a month.
They're gonna take the first line out of town.
So, like, they'll put 20 tons on a truck, right? That truck is heading to you in the UK. That truck gets hijacked, and they steal 19 out of those 20 tons, right? 1 ton makes it to its final destination to help the people that need it. The other 19 tons ends up on the street. Oh, 100% it's easily available. I can go buy some right now, dude. I could literally get in the car, drive 15 minutes down the street and get some. I could go on Facebook and ask for some, and somebody can help me out. I can go on Snapchat and ask for some. Like, you can get it anywhere, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's everywhere. It's like, it's not just the US, dude. I promise you it's a problem in the UK, too. Like, if you see videos of people that are, like, zombied out walking around the streets, that's fentanyl. Or it's Trank. But if you're not in the US, it's probably fentanyl. Trank, I think, is a US thing. Track to the guards over to the area without being seen. Okay. Can I just shoot that guy's lantern and fucking blow him up? It's crazy, bro. It's I've lost a lot of friends to drug addiction. What's really nuts though is a lot of these people, typically they're like, maybe they did heroin like years in, oh shit. Maybe they were like a heroin addict for a really long time, and then they kind of cleaned their act up, and then now they're, you know, then they relapsed or something. Relapsing these days is a death sentence.
Did someone whistle out here?
Shit. Like, it's a death sentence. Like, you end up, you don't get heroin anymore, you get straight up fentanyl, and you don't get off of it. And then this shit is extremely likely to kill you. Like, you're not gonna have a normal life after that. Like, you're fucking done. It's like, it's nuts. Like, we just had a buddy of ours a few months ago who was clean for 7, 8, 9 years, something like that, and then I don't know what broke in his life, but something happened where he started doing drugs again. And he was on heroin for like 2 weeks. And he fucking overdosed and died. You know, like, it doesn't, like, it really, like, the fact that he was able to do it once without dying is freaking crazy.
I'll deal with them.
But yeah, like, if you go on YouTube and you look up, you can see videos of people doing it, and like, they're fucking zombies on the streets, dude.
What are you talking about?
You heard what I said.
Well, so there's a couple things that are really dangerous. So when you're buying drugs on the street, unless you get the exact same batch every time you buy it, you don't actually know what your dosage is, right? So let's say you buy a bag of heroin, right? Let's say you buy 1 gram of heroin. Unless you are buying 1 gram from the exact same batch every single time, 1 gram of heroin might be 50% actual heroin. Maybe it's 100% actual heroin. Maybe it's 10%. Like, you really don't know. So the last time you bought a gram, maybe you need 0.1 grams to get high. Maybe you need 0.3 to get high. And so a lot of people will, like, do their normal dose. They realize they didn't do much for them, so they do more until they figure out what's right. And you might get that same stuff for 3 straight weeks, and you're like, oh, I need a half of a gram to get high. And then you get some other batch that's just all fentanyl, and you do your normal dose, and you're fucking dead. It's not even necessarily about chasing. It's definitely about chasing like a good high and getting fucked up. But a lot of the times the people die, it's because they just don't know what they're getting. They don't know what the potency is. And doing their normal dose is what fucking kills them. And a lot of times, too, it's people that are relapsing that fucking die. Because they pick up their drugs, and they go to do what was like their standard dose when they used to get high all the time. And they forget that they have no tolerance anymore, and it fucking kills them. You know what I mean?
Well, it's gonna take a little more gold, but I think we're gonna.
Oh, dude, I've done a ton of drugs, man. I was hooked on drugs for a very long time. I don't.
The ship is Frenchman.
The only thing I do these days is my nicotine gum. I'm like all about nicotine gum, dude. Oh, I fucking love it. But yeah, I used to do like every drug under the sun, but it's not. It's no way to live, man. It's really no way to live, dude. It's anybody that's out there on the run, dude, they're not having a good life. They're just not. I don't care what anybody says. It's no way. It is no way to live your life, dude. Like, it's fucking miserable. You are always poor. You are never in a good mood. You know, you're not eating, you're not sleeping. It's fucking, dude, it's atrocious, dude. It's so dumb.
This is done and dusted.
Let's hope so.
I ain't no sailor, but,
It's so bad.
that cloud look like good news to you?
Oh, we're going to Guatemala now. But what's crazy is I've got buddies that are my age now, you know what I mean? I got friends who are in their very late 20s, early to mid to late 30s, and they are. So I worked with the guy for a long time. Very nice guy. He drank, but I think that was really all he did. He didn't drink a ton. Like, he drank a couple nights out of the week. But back when I used to work with him, this is 7 or 8, 9 years ago, he hurt himself at work one time, and he busted up his knee really, really bad. He ended up getting surgery on his knee to fix his knee. They ended up making his knee significantly worse. And so the doctors just like started loading him with pain pills because they were like, we could do another surgery, but it's probably not going to help. Like, they fucked him up good and proper. So he ended up suing them, made a lot of money. But his doctors were just throwing him pain pills all the time. And then because of federal law, fucking Dutch just ditches us, dude. What a scumbag. What a piece of shit. But so because federal law, he was in a massive amount of pain, but the doctors could not write him a higher dose of prescription. So for like 2 years, this guy was just in constant pain. Like, we're talking like debilitating pain. Like, he would just start crying at random because he was in so much pain. And so he ended up, just to help with his pain, he started buying, so he was on, let's say they had him on like Percocets. He was going out and he was buying stronger dosage Percocet pills just to take the edge off. And then he started buying fake Percocets that he didn't know were fake Percocets. And he ended up getting hooked on, it wasn't fentanyl, it was something else. But he ended up getting hooked, it was like Dilaudid or something. But he got hooked on some other painkiller. And then he stopped going to his doctor because the shit that they were prescribing him really wasn't doing anything for him, especially now that he was on some stronger shit for so long. And then he ended up buying more fake Percocets that were fentanyl, and he got hooked on fentanyl. This dude was like 43 or 44, and he ended up overdosing on fentanyl in his truck in a parking lot, and he died because he was in so much pain that he needed to turn to street drugs to not be in pain to get through like a day of work, because the government allowed so many people to die from overdoses because they kept shoving this shit on the streets that they passed laws that meant that somebody who was in legitimate pain, couldn't get the treatment he needed, So he turned to street drugs that fucking killed him. You know how insane that is, dude? You know how fucking nuts that is that our government is like, hey, to cut down on drug addiction and overdoses, we have to be very, 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 very strict on upping dosages, and we are not. It's like they can't up your dose more than like once every month or something weird. It's some dumb law, and they would not up his dosage anymore. And he was like, guys, I'm fucking dying. He was like, I'm in so much pain. Like, yeah, we can't do anything for another 6 months or whatever. And that's what he. But like, because of those laws that are there to protect him, it actually fucking killed him. You know how nuts that is? There's a movie on Netflix, I think. Yes, it's on Netflix. Look up, sorry, I'm gonna pause the game. I know I'm giving you a lot of stuff to watch. But look up on Netflix, if you've got Netflix, watch the movie called Painkiller. It's about OxyContin's rise in the 2000s. Essentially the exact same idea. The only thing is that OxyContin was the first, like, real painkiller that came out on the market. And when that came out, nobody really, well, I mean, the company making it knew how bad it was, but doctors didn't know. Doctors were making so much money pushing this shit that they didn't really care. So, like, you could have headaches, and they would prescribe you OxyContin, which was another form of synthetic heroin. And there was so much of this shit getting prescribed, it was flooding the markets. And there were people who were just normal people who'd go to their doctor because they broke their hand, and their doctor's like, here is this really high dosage of this really strong narcotic. Their hand feels better, their hand heals, and they keep prescribing this shit, and then they get hooked on it. And then laws started changing, and they were like, I can't give you this anymore. Sorry, dude. And people were now addicted to drugs they couldn't get anymore. So they'd turn to the streets, they would do whatever, and they killed a lot of people. This company, Purdue Pharma, killed a lot of people. Like, a lot of people. Over greed. Like, they made so much money. But all they did was kill people all over the world, dude. Mostly the U.S. But it's fucking nuts. So, what am I looking at? Yeah, I see the smoke, dude. I get it. I'm going. So, U.S. healthcare isn't good. But it's not so much healthcare as it is law. So it's definitely, like, it's expensive.
You're alive. You're
Fuck you, Dutch. You ditched me, dude. You piece of shit. You scumbag.
It is a miracle. It is a goddamn miracle. Yeah.
So,
have something to drink. Have a drink. Somebody give him a goddamn drink. Oh,
so, American healthcare is expensive. Going to the doctor is expensive. Even with insurance, which insurance is insanely expensive, and it doesn't really do a ton for you a lot of times. Like, a lot of times, it's actually cheaper to pay the cash price. Like, when we had our baby, because we were at the hospital when we had our baby, we owe the hospital over $100,000. That's how much it cost to have a baby. It was like $110,000. We could have done it at home for free, right? But we did it at the hospital because that's what you do. It's safer. $110,000 a death.
Tahiti? I guess.
That's not true. Our insurance paid like 90 grand of it, and I think we got to pay like 15, but still 15 grand out of our pocket, 120 total.
Well, next I guess we're gonna get
but
shot.
it really, it is laws that are the big problem. It's not like our doctors don't want to help. Our doctors are doctors like they are anywhere. They want to help.
What are you doing?
But a lot of
Mr.
times,
O'Malley?
the government causes issues, and then they try to rectify those issues, and then they end up making it worse.
I'm in the habit of looking like this.
So, for example, the OxyContin thing, the government allowed these pills to legally be prescribed at mass, and they outright ignored all the people that were trying to tell them that this shit was super dangerous, because the government was getting so much back in revenue from these pills being sold, whether that's through taxes or through like direct like buy-ins or whatever. The government was making all their own money, so they really didn't. Whoa, what is happening here? Look at the ground, dude. It's all freaking wobbly wobbly. They didn't give a shit. People were screaming at the top of their lungs, this stuff is gonna kill people, it's gonna kill people. And the government just let it be. And then by time the government finally listened, there was already millions of people deep in addiction to these pills. And then their path to fixing the issue ended up causing a lot of these people to turn to street drugs, which ended up killing them. So, like, healthcare sucks, but it's the way the laws interact with the healthcare system, I think, is one of our biggest problems.
Bunch of Haitian pirates won't frighten him. Be strung up in the streets soon enough.
So you can't. So if you like a hospital's not gonna like refuse to treat you. I know that's a common thing that people think is like if you don't have insurance or money, you will not get treated. They'll treat you. Now, that doesn't mean they're not gonna like. So like if you go to the hospital, they'll take down like they need some kind of identification. I will tell you that you do need like a driver's license or something. At the very least, they'll find out who you are, even if you don't have an ID. Like they'll figure it out. But even if you have no money, they'll still treat you, but you're gonna get a bill. Now you don't have to pay that bill. Like I owe probably 10 grand in medical debt. And it negatively impacts your credit score, but not a lot. And like I could pay back $1 a month for the rest of my life, so I'll pay off like a few $100 of it, and then like the rest of it just dies with me. So like it's not as insane as people make it sound, but it's definitely like you're better off being a homeless person going to the hospital with no insurance than you are being somebody like me who's got a full-time job, who is a contributing member of society. I will get way more fucked than a homeless person will.
Who are these people?
Like by a lot. Like I go to a doctor every month.
They don't look too dangerous.
That doctor's trip every month, the copay on that, which is like what I pay out of pocket just to go to the appointment, is like $120 every single month. And that trip to the doctor, I'm literally there for 15 minutes. I walk in the door, I wait for 5, I'm in the office for 5, and then takes me 5 minutes to check out and I'm gone. 15 minutes. That trip cost my insurance company like $1,800 a month for 15 minutes. Like it's fucking nuts. And like I don't pay the copay because like I can't afford to pay $120 a month to go see a doctor for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I only make, it's like, we'll say I make like $35 an hour, right? So like I make $35 an hour, but I'm supposed to go pay this guy, what's the math on that? $480 an hour? You know what I mean, dude? Like for me to pay this guy for an hour of work, it would take me, what? Like 3 days of working to pay this guy? You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy, dude. It's nuts. It's a very broken system. But the real issue is that, like, the real issue is that healthcare isn't a service, it's a business. And like any other business out there, all they care about is making money. And big pharma is so big medical. Big pharma is so intertwined with the government. The government makes a bunch of money off of healthcare. Big pharma, all these hospitals, medication companies, you know, suppliers, like they all make so much money. It's just this never-ending cycle where all they do is make money off of each other, off of us. So like not only so so exactly. So like imagine like you go to the vet and they're like it's $1,000 to fix your cat. You're like, damn, that's crazy. But imagine it's 10 times that for you to go and get like a chronic headache looked at, or you got a weird pain in your leg or whatever. Like it basically what it does is it makes people not want to go to the doctor. So like a bunch of us are just like living with ailments because we don't want, like, it's not that I can't afford to go to the doctor, it's that I don't want to go to the doctor where I'm now gonna owe these guys whatever. I'm gonna owe them $5,000 for spending a couple hours at the hospital. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna do it. So perfect example, perfect story for you. So our son, for the first time in his life, got really sick last year. No, the year before that. It was like within the first few months he was born. No, it was like last year. So the first time our son ever got really, really sick. Right, they charge you an arm and a leg, dude. But so the first time that our son actually got sick, he was throwing up violently, like for an hour. He was lethargic. I genuinely, there was a brief moment where I don't know if my wife thought it, but I thought he was gonna die. Like he wasn't moving. Like he was just like, you could pick up his hand and he would just drop it down. He wasn't moving. His breathing was very shallow. We still don't know what happened to him. We think he just had a weird reaction to food. But we go to the hospital, the children's hospital, and our son is lethargic. He's been throwing up. He's not reacting to anything. And they're like, oh, go ahead and just wait. And we waited for like an hour and a half with our son not moving the whole time. And he's breathing, but very shallow for an hour and a half. They're like, yep, you just hang out. And as a dad, I'm fucking freaking out, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to start punching doctors until they help my kid, right? But so they finally pull us in after an hour and a half. They take his vitals, like, yeah, he's okay. I think he's just exhausted from throwing up. And I'm like, okay, but like, I need you guys to check him out, right?
Come on. I know
that's 10 minutes, and then we go back and we wait for another 4 hours.
I don't see you have any choice.
We're in the lobby waiting for 4 more hours. They finally pull us in. He's started to come back. He's a little more chipper now. It's like 11 o'clock at night at this point. But he's a little bit more chipper. He's a little bit more happy. He's starting to be himself. They're just like, oh, here's some Pedialyte. Hopefully, you know, he looks like he's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. He probably just had a bad reaction to his food. No worries, right? So, total, maybe 20 minutes of time. We had one nurse help us for a total of 20 minutes.
Hopefully we can get to them.
Our insurance paid $10,000 for that visit.
Gentlemen.
Well,
and then we owed like $1,200 out of pocket for that.
So far, it ain't up to much.
$1,200 because we thought our son was gonna die.
Arthur, I need to get some rest.
You know how fucking ridiculous that is?
You're right. We all need to relax. What a mess. I'm so sorry, boys.
I don't know. I've asked for a breakdown of medical bills, and I've never seen one that made any sense.
Do some more scouting.
So if you cut your leg open and you go to the hospital and they give you stitches, not for the act of like putting the stitches in your wound, just like the cost of like the string, they'll be like, oh, that's $185. And you're like, dude, I've got a string in my car that I got from Walmart for like $3. Can we go use that? And they're like, no, this is a specific type of material that's sterile. And it's not. It's literally like just plastic that's biodegradable. That you can, it's fishing line that you can buy from Walmart for $2, but they charge you $100 and whatever because it's sterilized. Like, it's freaking like a Band-Aid, like a normal Band-Aid that you can get from CVS or whatever store, like from a drugstore. A Band-Aid is like $60 through a hospital. I'm not kidding. That's not an exaggeration. That's how much a Band-Aid costs. I think. Last time I looked, it was pretty crazy. How much does a Band-Aid cost at the hospital? New York Times journalist Sarah Cliff spent 18 months collecting thousands of emergency room bills and made public the prices that hospitals try to keep secret, from $629 Band-Aids to $5,000 charges for just sitting in the waiting room. $600 for a 40-cent Band-Aid. And like, I'm not gonna even dig into whether or not that's true because I promise you it is. That's how fucking weird it is. $600 for a Band-Aid. I could come home. I bought a box of Band-Aids for $4. There's like 100 of them. You know what I mean, dude? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, they don't make any sense. I don't know where they get off thinking that that's like acceptable. But it's the same thing as that fuck. I can't remember the guy's name, but the dude who was selling insulin, and he was selling dosages for like $1,000 a piece, more $10,000 a piece. And the government had to step in to be like, yeah, what's a more fair price? And they were like, oh, $100 a dose. And they were like, let's do that instead. Like, it's fucking sick, dude. Like, it's fucking crazy. I'm telling you, dude, like, look it up. Like, the United States healthcare system really is wild. And the only reason it's like that is because the government allows it to happen because they make their money too. Like, that's why they do it, is because they get away with it. Because the government's asking for their own handouts. Like, it's wild. But like, for real though, they'll charge you $1,000 an hour just to sit in a chair in the waiting room. Nobody's helped you. Like, maybe they've checked you in where like they've taken your license and stuff and your health insurance, but they'll charge you $1,000 an hour or more just to sit in a chair. You know what I mean, dude? Like, that's all I'm saying. It's really crazy. And I don't know if like it's ever gonna end. But that's how it works. That's how it's been working for a long time. Let's go for it. Let's take the volcanic. I think that'd be fun. But yeah, man. United States healthcare system is very confusing, very weird. And I don't think there's a way to fix it, at least not in my lifetime, because it's been broken. But it's been broken for as long as I can remember. And I really don't see that changing anytime soon. It's free in a lot of places, like in Canada, it's also free up there. It's just the one thing that people need to, I'm probably going to go to bed in a few minutes here. I don't want to start this island and then not be able to kind of burn through it. But something that I try to tell people all the time is everything in the United States, everything, all of it, every single industry in the United States, everything we deal with on a daily basis is all for maximizing profits. Like, dude, the healthcare system, the people that work in the healthcare system, they care about making you better, but the people that run the companies that these healthcare workers work for, they don't give a shit. All they want to do is maximize profits. That's the only thing that they care about. It's been like that forever. It's always been that way as far as I know. It really started getting bad probably over the last like 30, 40 years. But it definitely, for these CEOs of these medical companies, it's their biggest issue that they worry about is making money and maximizing profits. That's absolutely their biggest thing. Did I just fall into like a fucking... Oh, this is a random event. But yeah, that's all they give a shit about, is making the most money humanly possible. Like, none of them really want to make sure you get better and they don't, like, destroy your life in the process. Like, all they care about is making sure that they make as much money off of you as humanly possible while you're in their care. Like, that's their biggest concern. And, like, I've got friends that are doctors, and, like, even, you know, even they're, like, it's fucking heartbreaking to see somebody, like, imagine you break your arm and you just live with that pain and you try to deal with it, because if you go to the hospital, you're going to get hit with some bill that you can never pay. And like I said, don't get me wrong, there's a ton of people, like, no matter what, they'll take care of you. But, like, they'll charge you $10,000 to give you a freaking a split for your arm or whatever. And a lot of people just don't want to have that bill hanging over their head. They don't want to have debt collectors calling them every single day or knocking on their door or whatever. So they would rather just deal with it at home. They'd rather try to fix the pain on their own at home. You know what I mean? And, like, I can't say that I don't understand that, because I definitely do. But, like, that's just kind of, that just is what it is, dude. Like, a lot of people would just rather suffer than owe some company a bunch of money. Like, it's more than a car payment. Like, no matter what, you're paying a hospital more than you would pay for a car. And that's the truth. And it's especially heartbreaking. Why did I just kick this guy? Oh my god. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Like, it really sucks. Like, I don't, especially having a kid, like, if he's sick, we're going to go to the hospital, right? And it's probably going to cost me, just to have him looked at for 10 seconds, it's probably going to cost me thousands of dollars. And that really sucks to even have the thought cross your mind of, like, you know what? We're going to not go to the hospital because we can't afford the hospital bill when your kid is sick. Can you imagine that? And it's the same thing, like, dude, there's parents that, like, their kids have fucking cancer, and they're like, they're trying to decide which medication the kids need and don't need, because they literally cannot afford the out-of-pocket copay on the medication for their kids that have cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like you, like, getting treated at the hospital is one thing. Like, you could just pay for it and then, like, that's it. But if your kid needs, like, pills to make their life a little bit more comfortable at home, like, you've got to pay the pharmacy for those pills, right? And your copay could be $1,000, $5,000, like, depending on what the medication is. Even with really good insurance, it can still cost you thousands of dollars out of pocket. So a lot of people have to make a decision on, like, are we going to get medication, or are we just going to try to find, like, some whatever alternative, some natural alternative that might work, it might not, who's to say, or who knows. And they've got to choose whether or not they're gonna, like, get meds for their kids that's freaking sick. You know what I mean? College debt is nuts too. Like a local community college is like fucking 60 grand minimum. I actually owe, so when COVID struck, I had signed up to go to school for my A+ certification, and I was actually lied to about the school I went to. They had told me that I was going to be A+ certified when I was done with the course, which wasn't true. They flat out lied to my face. And then I started going to school, and about a month in, COVID hit. And they went a month without doing any courses online because they hadn't figured out how to set up remote classrooms. And then they ended up hiring a bunch of random people to do their courses. And roughly 80% of my class, the teacher wasn't even there. So I didn't even get my education. And I still owe them $20,000, which I refuse to pay. I filed complaints with the Better Business Bureau because I think it's obscene for me to pay for an education I never received. But they still hit me up every single month being like, hey, you still owe, like, I owe the school directly money, and I refuse to fucking pay it. Not doing it. And that's how it goes, dude. Like, so there's a medication that I'm on that I take every month. I've got like middle of the road insurance. It's not the best by any means. It's certainly not the worst. My medication every single month out of pocket with a coupon costs me, where's the other body? It costs me like $125 a month out of pocket. Without insurance, it would be well over $1,000. And with like really good insurance, it would be like 10, 20, 30 bucks. But because I can't afford to pay $1,000 a month for good insurance, it costs me 120 bucks a month to pay for my medication. So like if my son needed medication because he got really, really sick, it would probably cost me like $1,000 a month plus paying my insurance to keep him like loaded up with his meds. It's fucked. And a lot of people, like, I know that it's kind of like a running gag where like Americans think that we have like the best country in the world, and I will say that in a lot of ways we are definitely better off than a lot of other countries. Like, we definitely have a lot of freedoms that not a lot of other countries have. We definitely get to live our lives in a way that a lot of other countries just wouldn't allow. But it's also very, very tricky to live here. Like, they really don't make it easy to live in the US. It's extremely, extremely expensive, and everybody is out to get you. Like, our own government is constantly trying to fuck us. Like, I lose 40% of my paycheck to taxes. 40%. Like, I'm sorry to hear that, man. My dad had he had pancreatic and some other kind of cancer, and I don't even, like, dude, I genuinely don't want to know what is, like, he must have racked up millions of dollars in medical debt on his way out, and I'm sure there's debt collectors hounding his now widowed wife about how much fucking money he owed. You know how fucking crazy that is, dude? But you know, so like, if I didn't lose 40% of my paycheck to taxes, I'd probably be living really comfortably right now, but I lose a huge chunk of it to taxes, dude. Nope, that's just pretty much everybody in the US loses anywhere from 30 to 40% of their paycheck to taxes. Like, so if I make $2,000 pre-tax, I bring home like $1,200 of it. You know how fucking disgusting that is? Like, I'm telling you, if I lived in any other country, with the paycheck that I make, I'd be doing great. I would be so comfortable, but because the U.S. is obsessed with taxing people into the dirt, we just constantly get screwed over, dude. Constantly. It's fucking nuts, dude. Like, it's for real nuts. Oh, so here's the kicker. So, I go to work, right? I work, make my money. Before I get paid, they pull out all of their taxes, and I get to keep 60% of my paycheck. Now, when I get my paycheck, I go to the grocery store, right? I pay a massive sales tax, like almost a 10% sales tax on anything I buy at the store, right? So, no, what I'm saying, so tax brackets are basically like a myth. Like, anybody making any type of money via income is losing 30 to 40%. Even if you make 10 grand a year, you're losing 30% of your paycheck. Guaranteed. So, And so like they'll make it like they'll be like, oh, income tax brackets exist, but they'll find other taxes to slap you with, so they still take out the majority of your paycheck. But so we lose a bunch of our tax or a bunch of our money to taxes before we even get paid. Then we get paid, we go to the grocery store, we pay sales tax. I've got to fill up my car with gas so I can get home to bring my groceries home. I pay tax on the gasoline that I just bought. I pay property tax on my own car that is on the property that I own. That property I'm already paying taxes on. I'm paying taxes on the house that's on that property. I'm paying taxes on the electricity that's going to that house. I pay taxes on the gas that's going to that house. I pay tax on the water that I use for that house. Every year we pay property tax, so we're paying taxes just to keep like cars on our own property. We pay taxes to the city just for living on our property, even though we own that property. We pay taxes on the insurance that we pay for. We pay taxes to go into like our Social Security that they half the time they fucking fight you for if you try to pull money out of it. Yeah, so you pay. You pay. So like my car, right? I make a car payment because I don't own my car yet, right? So I took out a car loan. I pay back that loan. So I'm paying that loan. I pay taxes towards that loan, like a regular, like whatever it is, like, and interest, right? So interest and taxes get paid on that loan. And then I have to pay my city money every year to keep that car on my property. I'm also paying another tax to live on that property, while also paying the mortgage on the house that's on that property. There's another tax that gets tagged onto the mortgage for the house that's on the property that I'm paying taxes for. Like, it's fucking thievery, dude. It's straight up, you pay taxes on everything. Never mind, as of the last couple of years, they got this whole go green thing, where if your car does not meet some, like, if you've got a model of car that doesn't meet some specific, like, guideline from the EPA, you get taxed extra for driving a non-environmentally friendly car. And the thresholds for where your car is or isn't environmentally friendly is razor thin, dude. Like, it's fucking, I'm telling you, dude, it's fucking crazy, dude. It's nuts, bro. It's nuts. See, but that's the thing. If I move to the UK, I can't bring my guns. And I like my guns a lot. I will say, and I know this sounds stupid, it's come up in conversation a lot, especially since COVID. But one of the things about living in the US that genuinely scares me is our government and the media they've been putting forward, and I still don't know if I understand why, but they've been putting forward this extreme wedge between all the people in the country. I would definitely move to another country. I don't know where I could move that I would like be okay with living there. Like, I genuinely love my guns too much to move somewhere where I couldn't bring them with me. But I would totally move to another country, for sure. Even other states are a little bit better on taxes and shit like that, and they're a little bit more free, and those are okay. But, like, one of the things that's been happening, especially since COVID, is if you look on the news and everything, there's, like, this constant, mass of attention that gets put on, like, racially charged incidents. And it's like the media is trying really, really hard to make certain groups of people really hate other groups of people, whether it's like, black versus white, or it's everybody versus police, or it's everybody versus the government, or it's poor versus rich, or whatever. Like, there's this crazy amount of attention being like, look at these groups fighting. Which one do you side with? Which group do you side with on the political thing? Like, it's crazy that we do that, and I don't understand why. And there was a lot of jokes during COVID where they were like, they're pushing us towards a civil war. And it genuinely felt like we were actually like getting close. Like all the riots and shit that happened, it really felt like we were working our way towards that. And it kind of feels like that's an inevitability, which I don't know why they would want to do that. But it's this constant push towards telling us to hate other people. And it's weird, dude. It's really weird. And I don't know if it's just because it's like clickbait and it makes a lot of money, but it's like this constant thing being like, hey, you know, I don't know if you heard, but like this side of the political spectrum got in a fight with this side of the political spectrum, and they got in a big fist fight. You know, what would you do in this situation? Maybe you should stand up for your own beliefs and let this side know what you think. And it's like, fucking who cares? Like, bro, it's weird. It's hard to say. Down south is probably pretty good. Like, for a while, it was like North Carolina and South Carolina were the places to go. It was pretty cheap to live there. Laws were pretty free. But that a lot of people started moving down there the last couple of years. So now, because so many people are moving there, they're starting to raise their taxes down there to accommodate for all these people you know, using benefits that the state offers. So those places aren't that great. Now, I would probably, if I was going to move anywhere, as much as I would hate the heat, I would probably move to Texas, to be honest. Oh, dude, I've been telling my friends that live, like, in other countries, they you know, America does this really incredible job of making it sound like we are the best place in the world to live at. Like, we really are good at puffing our own chest. But I do not know anybody right now that is happy with their life. I don't know anybody that is happy with the amount of money they're making. I don't know anybody that's happy with, you know, just living in general, honestly. One thing we're dealing with now, and I'm actually going to hop off in about 5 minutes, but one thing we're dealing with right now is a housing crisis. So, because of our president, I'm going to just say president, because of our president and because of local laws, the cost of owning a house or renting an apartment or whatever has quadrupled in the last year. Chicago's horrible. Chicago, I can't speak on whether or not Chicago is like expensive to live at, but Chicago is crime riddled. Like, that's what they're a lot like Detroit, where that city was basically like a lot of big factory jobs that kept money being, you know, flooded into the state. A lot of those jobs left to go overseas because it was cheaper. A lot of people lost jobs, and then the state started to suffer because they weren't making as much money. Started cutting money where they could, and it's just not good. And then, so there's two things. So, number one is housing. So, a couple years ago, if you wanted to have like a 2-bedroom apartment, average price was like $1,000 a month, right? That same apartment now is $2,600 a month, right? For like a small 2-bedroom. Our house, when we bought it 3 years ago, was worth like $100,000. In the current market, it's worth like $285,000. So it's kind of like this shitty thing where, like, if you want to move into an apartment now, you're going to end up paying way more than the apartment's worth. If you're going to buy a house, you're paying way more than that house is worth. And places are being so strict. Like, if you want to get an apartment, you've got to have a minimum 700 credit score. You've got to pay first, last 2 months worth of security deposit. So it costs you $10,000 just to move into an apartment. Like, it's insanity, dude. And the other thing is a lot of states, even federally, have started going soft on crime. So one thing that's been happening is there's been a lot of car thefts lately. There's a group of guys, kids, they're like 16-year-old kids, that have been stealing cars, and they sell them, they joyride them and crash them. but they're causing a lot of issues for a lot of people. Like, there last week alone in my city, there was over 60 cars that were stolen, and half of them were found totaled. So all these cars are getting stolen. No, because of the whole defund the police thing, no state really has the money to put into investigating all these cars getting stolen. So our state wanted to synthetically make it look like our crime rates had gone down. Somehow that translates into getting a larger budget for other activities. So what our governor did is he said, you know what, we're gonna basically make it look like our crime rates dropped when they've actually gone up. So to do this, they decided to reclassify a bunch of felonies as misdemeanors, and at the same time they made it so you can't get arrested for the vast majority of misdemeanors anymore. So when you look at a state's crime rate, a lot of times it basically goes by arrests. It doesn't go by charges, it goes by arrests. So in our state, we've stopped arresting people unless it's a violent crime or something. You don't get arrested. So because they reclassified a bunch of crimes as misdemeanors, and because you can't get arrested for misdemeanors, on paper, it made it look like our crime rates had dropped by like 65%, right? So because our crime rates dropped, somehow our state gets some bonus, or they're allotted a bigger budget for something else, and they just take that money and pocket it. But so our state went to these summits with a bunch of other surrounding states, and they were like, check it out, our crime rates dropped by 65%. And everybody's like, wow, that's incredible. But what they don't mention is that carjackings are up by like 600%. Car theft is up by 600%. Nonviolent crimes in general are up by hundreds of percent. Violent crimes have stayed about the same, but nobody looks at those stats. They just go by arrest. And so what our governor did too is he made a public statement where he was like, hey, you know, if you see somebody trying to steal your car or break into your house or whatever, to limit violent crime. So if somebody breaks into my house and they have a gun and I shoot them, even though it's self-defense, on paper that still is a violent crime, right? So they're like, if somebody's breaking into your car, your house, they're trying to steal your car, they're trying to steal your property, just don't intervene. Just let them take your stuff, and we'll deal with it later. Like, they're not going to find who did it. They're not going to get your stuff back, but they're like, just don't intervene. So they make these public statements, and that tells the criminals, hey, nobody's going to fuck with you for taking their stuff, so just go nuts. And they do. Like, every single day, I got an app on my phone that, like, specifically is for, like, people within, like, a few mile radius. Every single day, there's at least 5 people that are like, hey, my car got broken into last night, my car got stolen last night, and just nothing happens. There's so many of these reports that the cops don't have the manpower to look into all these thefts, but because they're not arresting anybody anymore, it makes it look like we are just killing it. Like, there's no crime, nothing bad is happening. It's really insane, dude. Like, it's fucking wild. So, like, I can't do anything if somebody breaks into my car. I can't do anything about it. Like, I don't live in a state where somebody being on your property that you don't want there is reason enough to shoot them off with a gun. It's not that kind of state. The only way that I can protect my family is if somebody has a weapon and they threaten to hurt me or my family. But if somebody's just in my house rummaging through my shit, all that I can do is call the cops and hope they get there quick enough. That's all I can do. Now, if that person pulls out a knife or something and they're like, I'm going to kill you and your entire family, then I can do something. But it's actually, even if they just pull out a knife, if I shoot them then, even that alone, I might lose that case in court. It's very backwards. It's very weird. It scares me. because like I'll take my son out for like a trip to the store, and like there's people that drive like absolute monsters now because there's these 16-year-old kids that are stealing cars, and they just want to live like it's Grand Theft Auto. Like, dude, we were at a stoplight the other day, a massive intersection. We're talking 6 lanes at each side, and some guy was on the sidewalk doing like 90 miles an hour, driving down the sidewalk, blew past us, went straight through the red light that had been red for like a solid minute, and just cut straight across. Very, very easily could have killed a lot of people. And that's a daily thing. That's something you see almost every time you leave the house, dude. It's seriously nuts. Like, I don't know how we got here. I don't like that we're here. I don't feel comfortable leaving my house without a gun anymore, which I've always carried a gun everywhere I've gone. But like, if I'm gonna take my son somewhere, I don't feel comfortable leaving unless I have a gun with me. Like, we went to the amusement park this past weekend, and I had a lot of anxiety about the fact that I could not bring my gun with me. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I really didn't feel good about not having my weapon. It's just gotten very much out of hand, and there's really no way for us to fight back at this point. Like, if I fight back, it's fucking illegal. But I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna go to bed. I like how last night we were all jokes and games, and now tonight it's all depressing. That's great. I'm gonna go to bed. I got work tomorrow, but the weekend's coming up, and I'm on vacation all next week. So I'm going to be playing this again tomorrow night. We'll be playing it Saturday night, Sunday night. I might find some other games to play. I might load up Helldivers again. I don't know. I haven't played Helldivers in the last couple of updates. I don't know. I want to play Remnant 2 again. I haven't played that in a minute. Deep Rock I want to play. I might play through Spider-Man Remastered again. That's been on my list to play. I might play through Borderlands 2 and 3 again. I might play through Wonderlands again. I don't know. But we got to finish Red Dead. We still got a few more nights on that. But I'm going to go to bed. Have an awesome day at work tomorrow, dude. I'll catch you on the next one. Anybody else that's here, have a great night, great work day tomorrow, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.